In this particular palmistry video, we will be talking about one question the lady posed, and she was asking, like, wanting to know about her marriage line. This is what people say is the marriage line. These are basically at the side of the palm. I not necessarily say that these are marriage lines. These could be lines of attachments. And lines of attachments, one of them might convert into marriage. Not necessarily that if a person has got one line, two line, three lines, the person would be married. It is not for sure. It might happen. But at the same time, these could be one-sided attachment or two-sided attachments. It can be both ways. And the long line indicates a stronger attachment towards somebody. So in this particular case, we can see that the lines are extremely long. One of the lines is extremely long, and these lines, when it is drooping towards the towards the heart line, whenever it is drooping towards the heart line, it is not generally considered to be good. This is basically the heart line. And the droop is kind of happening towards the base of the palm, and if a line of attachment is like leaning towards the base of the palm, it might indicate great amount of stress from this particular relationship. Many people think that having a long line and almost reaching or crossing the mount of sun, this is basically the mount of sun, and this particular line is very long and reaching the mount of sun. So people think that mount of sun is basically for name and fame. So they also assume that they might be married to a very, very famous partner. It need not be. There could be possibilities, but it need not be that this thing might happen. It is just telling us how strong the attachment might be, and this attachment can be only one-sided. It need not be two-sided in this particular case. One more thing we would see on this particular palm, and that is the heart line, because we are seeing we are analyzing the line of attachment. So we also see what indications do we see on the heart line. So this is basically the heart line. This is the heart line, and like it's kind of overlapping and lines are crossing over, and there are branches, and at the same time the line is also ending somewhere under the mount of sun. This is the mount of sun. Okay, so and then the new line is developing and moving forward. So there's a break under the mount of Saturn, the mount of sun. So whenever there's a break in on the heart line under the mount of sun, it might indicate heart related issues, or it could also indicate eyes related issues. And this heart related issues might come about due to a bad relationship, problems in relationships. So those things are basically it is not considered to be a good sign. And these branches that you see on the heart line, there's a very, very strong kind of a branch that is leaning downwards. Even this is basically not considered to be good. This is a leaning downwards and angling towards the mount of Mars. So a leaning downward branch basically on the heart line indicates some attachment that would create stress in one's life. You would also see these smaller branches, comparatively smaller branches. So the stronger branch has got more weight, and the weaker branch has got less weight. So the less weight branch basically creates less stress in our life compared to the stronger branch. And branches on the heartline indicate uh, that there are expectations from a relationship, and the person has got great expectations from a relationship, and those expectations cannot be met, and that is the reason basically why there's stress and anxiety, and the person is not able to perform to the best of his abilities. So this is what basically is indicated by these branches that you see on the heart line. And as far as the money line goes, you see that the money line has got a slight wave-like formation, wave-like, minor wave-like formation that you see on the money line. See, wave-like formation is also not considered to be good on any line, be it the heart line or the marriage line or the fate line. What it does is that it kind of creates uncertainties in our work. And a deep and clear and singular and a line that is going very straightforward is always considered to be good compared to a wave-like formation. Sometimes a wave-like formation, what it does is it brings uncertainties, and sometimes we get extra good result and sometimes bad kind of result. So both kind of results can be seen on the money line that has a wave-like formation. And so this is what basically is I wanted to tell you. The main thing that we were talking about in this video was the long line of attachment or the long line of marriage. Long line of marriage, if it was curving upwards, imagine the opposite. Out here it is curving downwards. So if the attachment line was kind of curving a little bit upwards, it would be a better sign, because it would mean that a particular relationship is kind of uplifting us from problems, from money matters, from bad name, or any possibilities or any problems that come that would come in this particular person's life. The other person is going to basically take the person out of all the problems. A downward line is basically the opposite. It would mean that that the relationship, or the attachment, it is kind of creating stress in all aspects of one's life. So it's better to have a small kind of a line compared to a long line. Imagine a very, very long, thin kind of iron girder that you see for that is made used in construction activities. So even those long, very, very long, like we call it sariya in Hindi. It is called iron bars in English. But those long bars, if it is too long, even that can basically kind of lean downwards. So a leaning downwards of that iron bar is creating huge amount of stress on that particular pipe. So that would mean basically that is basically considered to be a negative sign. Imagine the end of the pipe, there's a rope towards the end, and that is kind of pulling upwards. So that is basically considered to be good. By iron pipe, I'm saying, imagine this to be the long iron pipe, and towards the end it is leaning downwards, so it is creating stress. Imagine the opposite, that the line is kind of this thing, and there's a rope that is out here, and it is kind of pulling this pipe upwards. So that is basically a better sign compared to a line that is leaning downwards. So that's it for this particular reading. I hope you will like this video. I tried to explain to you this thing in a different way. Hope you like this particular video. Do give your comments down below. On the right hand side you see the subscribe button. Just below that, once you click, you will be able to subscribe to my channel. And I have got a playlist also. I've created different playlist, and you can take a look at this playlist. It is on famous. It is basically on famous people's hands. Thank you for watching. Bye and take care.